It is, do my day and date introduction so we don't lose track of time. It is Saturday, May 23rd, Memorial Day weekend. So thank you for joining me on a Saturday morning. Great turnout this morning. It's Saturday, so it's kind of a just Saturday choice. So we have some weights. We have, you can see on the whiteboard, we have some weights, we have some higher intensity cardio, so kind of a little mixture of everything. And we'll get started with our warm-ups first. So we're going to start down on all fours, and we're going with some hip abduction, so opening the hip out to the side. So let me turn facing, maybe so you can see a little better angle of what I'm doing. So I'm down on all fours to start. Pull my belly button up towards my spine so that my back stays flat, and then I'm going to open one hip out at a time, really working to keep this movement in the hip as I open out rather than twisting at the spine. I don't want to twist the whole spine to open. This is just hip abduction, so this is the glute muscles that are working to do that. Abduction. 10 on each side. Again, really working to keep your center straight, belly button up to the spine so that your back stays neutral. 10 on one side, and then 10 on the other. Try to give it a few different angles so that you can see what I'm doing, and see that my center is not turning. So I'm not twisting through the spine for this, I'm opening up at the hip. So 10 on each side of those. When you're done with those, go ahead and come back up to standing. All right, so we're going to start standing and kind of work into a little bit of a Spider-Man and then into a hip and hamstring stretch. So it's just a little bit of everything. I'm going to start with my left foot. Step forward like I'm coming into a lunge. Come all the way down onto my right knee. Bring my hands down to the inside of my left foot. Press that right knee up off the mat. Open the left hand up to the sky, hand back down, and then walk my hands into the center, straightening that front leg, and that's where we'll get that hamstring stretch. So try to straighten both legs, walk the hands, come back up, and drive back up to standing. So drive all the way back up to standing, and do that again, left foot forward, down into that lunge. Spider-Man, twist to open. Walk your hands back to straight legs. Come back down and drive back into standing. Again, we're doing 5 each side. I'm going to stay one side and then the other. So we've got a lot of different movements going on in this. But it's a great warm-up. We're getting into our glutes, into our quads, our hamstrings, twisting through the trunk. All right, keep working through those. I'll talk you through another one. I'm about ready to switch sides. So stepping forward with the right foot, deep lunge, hands down, into a runner's lunge or a Spider-Man. Open that right hand up and then walk your hands back, straighten both legs, and come back up. Now if that coming back up to standing after that lunge, if that's too difficult, just stay down and you'll move through the other motion. So I'll do that one time, stepping forward with the right, And I'm going to stay in this runner's lunge, opening to the right, walking the hands back. So I'm not going to come all the way up in between. All right. Should be pretty close to being done. Again, we're doing 5 each side on those. When you're done with those, come back up to standing. It's like we still have maybe one person joint, it's still working. All right, take your time with this. These are meant to be your warm-up, so you don't want to rush through them. You want to move through all of these movements and really warm up your body. The next one we have our 5 each side, single leg deadlift. So we're hinging at the hip here. Mostly straight legs. There's a little lightness in the knees. Hands have that dead weight in front. I'm going to bend my back knee as I hinge forward. I find this helps with my balance a little bit, keeps more of my weight closer to center. You can do it with a straight leg back out behind you. Whatever works for you. But you're hinging at the hip. Your fingers don't need to touch down. And hinge at the hip, flat back. So it's not about reaching your hands down to the ground. It's about hinging at the hip, working those hamstrings again. And again, you'll do 5 each side. Nice. Once you've done 5 on one side, you're going to switch. Learning which side the balance is a little bit better and which side we should maybe work on a little bit more. Five each side. Nice. Hinge at the hip, flat back as you do this. It's not about touching the ground. It's about hinging at the hip. Your arms are just dead weight in front of you. If I touch the ground, it's because I feel like I'm going to tip forward. So I use that as my little touchdown. Good morning, Facebook Live. Thank you for joining us. All right, once you're done with those, or if you're finishing up, our next warm-up is 10 overhead squats. So I'm going to reach my hands up overhead, palms facing in. My biceps are right next to my ears the whole time. Keep those hands up overhead and squat down. Now you can go down as deep as it feels good this morning. Maybe try going a little deeper with each squat. My quads are kind of on fire this morning, so it doesn't feel good to go very deep. Working though to keep your spine straight. So try not to lean forward. You don't want to look at the floor. You want to keep up, but you also don't want to have a big arch in your spine. So you're doing 10 squats. And when you're done with those, come on down to the mat. And we have a 30-second side plank. So give everybody a second, a chance to get down on the mat. And we'll go in 3, 2, 1. Come on up into that side plank. So you can have your feet stacked one on top of the other. You can have them staggered one forward. Your top arm can kickstand in front of you. Reach up to the sky if you want, whatever works for you today. And 3, 2, 1. Come on down and we switch sides. So again, your feet can be whatever works for you. If you want them stacked, if you want them staggered, we're going to come up again in 3, 2, 1. That's halfway. Almost there. Hold on to it. 3, 2, 1. Come on down. All right, and then our last warm-up to really get our heart rates up will be 20 skaters. So stepping back with the same side of the hand that's reaching forward. So my right foot goes back, my right hand touches down. Use the space that you have. If you have a lot of space and you really want to jump through it, great. If you're limited on space or you don't want to jump, you can just step and touch. Step and touch. Count to 20, so it's 10 each side. Touch that hand down. And again, we're counting to 20. All right, finishing those up. So our workout today, like I said, it's a little bit of weight focus, strength focus, and then we'll do some cardio again at the end to really get our heart rates up. So we have 3, as you can see on the whiteboard, we have 3 different circuits. We're breaking them up into 2-minute intervals where you will continuously and at your own pace do each exercise for 2 reps, 4 reps, 6, 8, 10, 12. So each 2 minutes in that 12 minutes will increase our reps. You'll just keep going. So if you've just done 2 of the weighted squat and we click over at that 2-minute mark, then you'll move up to 4 each side of the bent over rows. When you click over again at 6 minutes, you'll go up to 6 reps of each. So it's a little evil. That's for you. Feeling a little evil this morning, so we're going to work your way all the way up to 12 reps. We break in between, and then we go on to the next one. So our exercises are single arm weighted squat. How do you do a squat single arm or not? Meaning that I have the weight on one side. So I'm going to bring it up, rack it on my shoulder. I happen to have a kettlebell, but you could also do this with a dumbbell racked on your shoulder. So squat twice. Those are horrible squats, but you get the idea. Other side, squat twice. So that's what I mean by 2. Bent over rows. Single arm. Lightness through the knees. Hinge at the hip. Flat back. And single arm. So you can kind of see how I'm not twisting through the shoulder. This is not starting up a lawnmower. I'm not twisting through the center. I'm rowing it up. And then the next one is an inchworm to around the world. So I'm going to inchworm myself out. I might have just walked out of the screen for Facebook. I'm going to inchworm myself down into a plank, and then the around the world comes with one arm, the other arm, one foot, the other foot. Back in. That's 1. So you'll walk yourself out, reach each hand, each foot up, really stabilizing through the center. So as you're reaching, try not to twist through the center. All right, those are our first 3 exercises. I'll give you an intro to the next 3 on our break. Are we ready? Thumbs up. All right, everyone have weights ready. Our first 2 minutes, again, you're doing 2 reps to start. 2 minutes starts right now. So it's 2 reps each. Weighted squats, you have it on one side. So you do 2 squats with the weight on one side. And then 2 On the other. Bent over rows to each side. Not twisting through the center. Again, this is not a lawnmower start. Now that inchworm, if you feel like you can't keep your legs straight, try opening them out a little bit wider as you reach your hands down to the floor and walk yourself out into that plank. Stabilize through the center as you reach each arm and leg up. Walk yourself back in. And you just keep going. This is at your own pace. So you'll take breaks as needed. I don't have breaks built into this until between each set or each round. Now remember, as soon as that 2-minute mark kicks off, which will be in 10 seconds, we're going to increase to 4 reps each. So you'll just keep going wherever you are. 2, 1. Now we're into 4 reps. Man, did I time that wrong. Now I have 4 inchworms to do. One minute. Less than 30 seconds to go. Keep moving or take a break. Just know that you're going to pick up right where you left off. Six reps. Minute 15. 15 seconds. We're up to 8 reps of each. And remember, you just keep going through. So if you don't get all the way through, it's okay. You just keep going. Pick it up with the new set of reps. On those bent over rows, think about bringing your elbow back to your back hip rather than bringing the weight up to your armpit. Just a slight difference in that movement. Good. We have 40 seconds to go. Five seconds. We're up to 10 reps of each. Again, on those bent over rows, we're not doing a lawnmower pull. Stay stabilized through the center. Facebook, if you're joining us, we're doing increasing reps every time we go through this round. We're increasing by 2 reps. We're up to 10 reps of each exercise at this point. Less than 1 minute to go. You'll just keep moving through wherever you are. If you don't finish those exercises as the new round starts, just keep it going. Three, 2, 1. 12 reps. This is our last 2 minutes of this circuit. Keep going. Adding in those extra 2 reps. Minute 20. 30 seconds to go. Three, two, one, and that's it for round one. All right, so take a second, grab some water, relax. I'll give you an intro into our next three exercises. And the layout's the same. We start with 2 reps of each. 4, 6, you get the idea. Our first exercise is a single arm clean. So you can do this with a dumbbell or a kettlebell, depending on what you have. You're starting down with the weight between your shins, or if you're a kettlebell, it'll actually touch the floor. This movement comes from the hips and the glutes. You're gonna pop it up to your shoulder, back down, pop it up to each side. So you get the idea. If you're doing a kettlebell, if you have kettlebells and you know how to do a kettlebell clean, remember that cueing zip and flip. So you come right up the center, flip it at the top. If you have kettlebells. If you don't, disregard that. Kneeling Atlas then is next. Both knees down. Find your strength all the way from the ground up. So my quads are engaged, my glutes, my core. I have the weight at one shoulder. Press up and over. Press up and over. I gotta pause it. Hang on. Wait. All right. And then bottom loaded windmill is the last one. So feet nice and wide. I have the weight in my one hand. That will be the bottom. Reach the other hand up overhead. Imagine balancing a tray on that hand. I'm going to keep my eye on it to make sure that it's balanced. Bring that weight all the way down and come back up. This one is all obliques. That's where you should be feeling this to stabilize and work through that range of motion.
Mary?
Yeah?
Is the Atlas, when you do 2, is it just actually 2, like around one, around the other side, or are you really doing 4?
So normally when I do an Atlas, that's 1. Over and over is 1. When we get up to 12 though, as we get into those higher reps later, you might want to just count 1 over, like
Okay.
1, 2, because otherwise you'll spend the entire 2 minutes basically doing just the Atlas. So
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. Good question. All right, any other questions? Good. Okay, get ready. Weights ready for that clean. 3, 2, 1, and go. So remember, you're popping this up with your hips. It's not about raising the weight up with your arms. It's coming up through that hip thrust. On those Atlases, find your strength from the floor. Work the muscles of your quads, your core, your glutes. Press up and over. Bottom loaded windmill, the weight comes down to the foot on the same side. Balancing my tray. Keep an eye on it. And switch. Again, those cleans come through the pop of the hip. Use that hip hinge. Pop it up. It's not about raising it up with your arms. Less than 30 seconds to go on this one. And we just keep going. You'll add the reps to whatever you're doing. All right, now we're up to 4 reps. Down under the minute. Five seconds. We add those 2 reps. All right, we're up to 6 reps of each. Less than 1 minute. Fifteen seconds. Increase it to 8 reps. Minute 10 to go. All right, we're up to 8 reps. Seconds. Three, 2, 1. You're up to 10 reps. And these seemed like a good idea at the time. Category, oh, let's increase reps with every 2 minutes. Seems like a great idea till we actually go to implement it. Nah, it's good. We're having fun, right? I'm glad I can't hear you. On that windmill, keep that hand up top, keep your eye on it, keep it balanced. Less than 30 seconds to go on this one. Twelve reps. Boy, am I glad those were my last windmills. Less than 1 minute to go. 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, and that's it. All right, take a second. That's not it. We still have one more quick round to go. It's only 6 minutes this time, and you're not doing 12 reps of anything. You're only doing 6 reps. I mean, they're burpees, but you're only doing 6. All right, so 2 exercises. You're just going to keep cycling through. Burpees. Few different options. You can hop up and back with a hop at the top. You can step, step, hop, hop at the top. Or step, 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 step. Hop at the top. I want to see a hop at the top no matter how you're getting up and back though. I want those hands up overhead. Hop at the top. And then the next one is a switching lunge. Now you can do this with a hop. So I'm starting in a lunge and I'm going to switch. Or if you just think that's craziness, you can alternate forward and back, 6 each side. So if you're doing the switching lunge, it's actually less because you're only jumping 6 times. Trying to sell it. It's not working. We have about 5 seconds to go. So it's 6 minutes. It's at your own pace. We start with 6 burpees. Let's go. So again, you have the option of hopping back or stepping back. Whatever works for your body today. And again, hopping forward or stepping forward. But I want to see hands overhead, hop at the top. Getting that heart rate up. Like it's not up enough. All right, and then those switching lunges. Again, you can do it with a hop. So set up in a lunge, hop and land, or alternate front and back 6 times each side. I really think hopping and landing might be, I don't know, the least amount of torture. Hands overhead on that burpee. Nice. So that alternating lunge, if you're doing it that way, you'll lunge forward. You'll lunge back, that's 1. If you're able to not step down in between, that's great. If you need to take a step in between, also great. Whatever works for you today. Again, if you don't like the hop, you don't have to do it. $3:40 to go. Nice. We are almost at the halfway point. That's it. That's our halfway. 3 minutes to go. Nice work, everyone. Seeing those jazz hands at the top, I love it. Minutes to go. Again, on your burpees, you have the option of hopping back, stepping back. Hopping forward, stepping forward, any combination thereof. Always with the hands up at the top. We are down to 1 minute. So whether you're on those burpees or those switching lunges, keep moving for the last 56 seconds. Seconds. Fifteen seconds. Pushing through all the way to the end. 2, 1, and that's it. All right, great work, everyone. Take a second, grab some water. We're gonna do one extra quick thing, and then a little bit of stretching and cooling down. Facebook, I'm gonna leave you to enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Make sure that you take a second to stretch out, cool down a little bit before you go on to your day. Thank you for joining us. 11 a.m. Sunday morning for Pilates. Hope to see you.